Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, I've been holding off on this video idea for quite some time. It's not a new idea, but it's a video that I wanted to do, but I've, not done. And that is my PL16 garage tour. And mainly because I've been holding it off because for the most part, at least for the first 2-3 weeks of since the update released, my PL16 garage, ooh, there's thunder outside. Could you hear that? It's gonna be raining soon. It's gonna be pouring soon. But yeah, for the first couple of weeks since the PL16 update, my garage was garbage. Mainly because I decided not to open the elite offers. I didn't open any of the elite offers. I only opened the singles, but I didn't open the elite offers, so that obviously puts me at a disadvantage, because I wanted to save my gold for Black Friday because that was on the same month. But then again, I did invest in the Hennessy finals, and that raised the stocks of my garage quite significantly. So now I think that my PL16 garage is in a pretty decent space, or, for that one guy that gets annoyed when I say PL16, my 16.0 garage. Feels right to say PL16, I don't know why. So I'm going to showcase to you over 100 cars. 71 out of 118 are fully upgraded, maxed out. The number could be 74, but I have 3 cars that are already done fusing. I've put all the fuses into them. I've just not put in the cash upgrades because I'm trying to grind back up to 1 mil as quickly as I can. I'm recording this video basically only like 12 hours, I would say, after the pack opening where I got the 650 GTS, and obviously we went back down to 100k, and now I'm back up to 265k. So your boy's grinding. But anyway, guys, my entire collection: 5 commons, 14 uncommons, 21 rares, 43 super rares, 27 ultra rares, 7 epics, and 1 legendary. And then, like I said, there are 71 cars fully upgraded. So let me show you what I've decided to collect for myself. So for the commons, I only decided to get what was useful, and the main stuff that was useful was going to be the Fiat Seicento, the Porsche 912. Well, actually, this one I don't even know if it's really useful. It's just a Porsche. I just really wanted it, but this one was useful, the Seicento, and the Fiat Punto Sporting, which I haven't even maxed out yet. I got this today, so as you can see, I've only owned it for 0 days, so that'll be my next project, I guess. Once again, it's not going to be a lot of money to invest into that, but yeah, these two are useful. This one was just pretty cool because we never saw a 4-wheel drive off-road tire RQ10 before, so I decided to bring it in to see if it will ever be useful. But I don't think I've ever used it, to be honest. Once I've used it once and it's lost. Yeah, 912 is because I like it, and the Julia is also because I like it. So once again, I don't like commons. You guys know this already. So if I'm going to collect them, there's probably a very good reason for it. Okay, basically I want to collect all of the PL15 uncommons, and I want to collect all of the PL16 rares. But I also want to collect all of the PL15 rares as well. It's a slow process, okay? Everyone that plays this game knows that this game is a marathon, not a sprint. But I'll show you what I have so far. I have 2 of the Alfa Romeo Alpha Suds for an RQ20 to hit 86 handling. Is really massive. It's also a very lightweight car, coming in at 834 kilograms when you max it out 323. Both of these cars are upgraded the same way, as you can tell from the top speed. And then I have the BMWs as well. I basically have all of the German, like the Enter the Black Forest uncommons, besides 1 Audi. That's not saying much though, because there are only 4 to choose from. 2 BMWs, 2 Audis. I have both the BMWs. I had to get them. I like them. They're really cool. And then I have a little bit of just filler, as I like to call them, cars that I don't think are very useful. They're just filler, like the Fiat 500 and the Abarth and the Chroma. And of course, I have my army of Alfa Romeo 155s. As you guys know, I'm a saloon collector, and I feel like this car just brings so much value, and it has. Honestly, when it comes to saloon events and clubs, I've been using this car all over the place just to save me RQ. It's medium ground clearance. Obviously, it's a saloon. It also fits the 5-seater niche, and it has 86 handling. So definitely a great car. I got 4 of them maxed out for a reason. And then next up, we have my rare collection. Now, I do have a lot of rares. Every time I try and get a unique rare, I try and max it out. I don't really care what it is. I'll just try and max it out because I want to collect all of the rares from this update. So we start off with the Fiat Panda car, which is pretty cool. 4-wheel drive off-road tires, and it's also relatively light. We have 2 of the Lancia Fulvia coupes. Now this car is a car that I was already very interested about before the update even dropped. I thought that it would be really good, and it turned out it is. Let's see, 75% win ratio, 16%, 16 races. Obviously, the win ratio doesn't really reflect how good this is, because at the end of the day, guys, you need to remember, I'm using this car to save RQ and to lose by 50, 60, that kind of thing. So, in those situations, it's fantastic. It handles really, really well, and it only has 32 RQ, so it's a great car. Okay, moving on now to the rest of the rares. There's an olive stuck in my throat, and it makes me want to, it's itching my throat, okay? Okay, so moving on from the Lancia Fulvia, I want to share the rest of my collection as well. I got a bunch of Fiats in here, and I gotta say, man, like, this is the opposite of Italian Renaissance. I would say that PL16 is the complete opposite from Italian Renaissance when it comes to rares in Italian cars, because Italian Renaissance brought a lot of Lamborghinis and Maseratis, and all of them were, you know, high top speed vintage cars, which I don't oppose to that. Like, I think they're really cool. They have low 0 to 60s, some of them have good MRI, but none of them handle, and that was across the board. This one's the complete opposite. This update's bringing a bunch of Alfa Romeos and Fiats, and all of these cars, they don't have MRI, they don't have low 0 to 60s, but they handle really well. As you can see, 86, 86, 87, 85, 90, 87, 87. So yeah, it's just really interesting to see, like, kind of the two sides of the Italian update. Obviously they came like 3 years apart, but still, you know, it really breathes a lot of new life into Italian rares. It makes it a very fun meta to play in now, because, you know, they're really strong when it comes to drags. They're also really strong when it comes to twisty stuff. So, you know, it's just a lot more versatile now, and that's kind of why I wanted to collect all of the rares in this update, because it just breathes a whole new variety, or it brings a whole new level of versatility to my Italian rare collection. There are some German cars sprinkled here and there. Obviously, if it's new, I want it. Mainly the BMW 3 Series, which I already have, 5.582, and medium ground clearance as well. So there's a little bit of value to that. Another car that I'm also very interested about is the Alfa Romeo 75. Medium ground clearance. Once again, it is a saloon with 89 handling, so looking really good if you ask me. This one is the most recent one. I got this from yesterday's opening, literally the one where we got, you know, the 650S GT3. I owned it for 0 days, maxed it out. Obviously we're getting medium ground clearance, as well as, where is it? Yeah, medium ground clearance, as well as 87 handling and a sub 6 seconds 0 to 60. Not too shabby if you ask me. Audis as well, they're kind of just here for the ride. Like I said, I want to collect every single one, so it doesn't really matter. If you're new, I'm gonna have you in here. We have the mini electric shadow edition. This was, like, I think the first rare that I got. It's not too bad, really. Medium ground clearance. It has 5.6 for 0 to 60, 82 handling. It's actually, you know, decent. It has very, very low 0 to 60. And then obviously we end off with the Fiat Formula 4, as well as the Lancia Thesis. As you can see, every single rare I have in my collection is maxed out. As I like to handle my garage, if it's a rare, it has to be maxed. If it's uncommon, it has to be maxed. All of my uncommons, as you can see in my collection, they're all maxed out as well. The only car that is stock is the Fiat Punto Sporting. I just got that from a prize board, so I'll max it out. Commons are hard to max out because, you know, you only get commons from prize boards. You can't get them from a 1 mil pack opening if you're only opening ceramic packs, because then the lowest rarity that you're gonna get is going to be uncommon. So moving on to my super rare collection now. The super rares, here's an interesting thing. I don't like minis. I don't like many of the alphas. Like, the point is, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of super rares. I'm not a huge fan of super rares in general. So I want to teach you, or not teach you, but I kind of want to tell you how I chose to upgrade the super rares that I chose to upgrade. I picked it out of a hat. That's it. Well, not a literal hat. You know the random name generator that I use for giveaways? I basically just put my super rares in that random name generator, and I let it pick what's the next super rare that I have to max, basically. So as you can see, there's a very strange array. Like, I'm currently maxing out an RQ40 Alpha 147. I don't think it would be the first choice for many players. Definitely not mine either. But the great website of random name picking chose me to pick the 147, so that's exactly what I'm going for. The Mini Cooper as well. Actually, this one isn't too bad, because you have to remember medium ground clearance. And the thing about the minis is that even though I'm not a fan of them, they all come with medium ground clearance, and they all handle pretty well. So I think that they are going to bring value, you know? So yeah, pretty good stuff. The BMW Z4 is one of the few super rares where I did not let the random name generator choose. I maxed it out of my own will, because I like the car. It basically is like a Supra, you know? It's a Supra in top drives. It's gonna be as close as you're gonna get to it for a long time. 5.091 with a pretty good top speed. I just like the car. There are a couple cars in here which I maxed out with my own intuition. The next one is the Porsche Panamera. This one I also upgraded myself, because once again, I understand the value in this. Once again, it's a saloon. It has 89 handling and medium ground clearance. So a good thing about this update is that it brought a bunch of medium ground clearance German cars that actually handle, because the BMWs that came before PL16 were just a bunch of medium ground clearance cars that didn't handle. So, you know, handling is really important. I mean, you use it in 60 to 70% of the track set. So it's nice to see this update bring some pretty decent handling cars. I definitely want to max out a second Panamera diesel as well. If anything, this is just a German version of the Dodge Avenger, and the Dodge Avenger is actually just a better car anyway. because as the lower 0 to 60, it handles the same. It's light or lighter, and it's cheaper to use compared to the Panamera. The only reason why the Panamera is higher in IQ is because it's got like 40 more miles per hour to its top speed. But who the hell cares about that? Okay, moving on. The ABR 124. Huge fan of the convertible version that has been in the game forever. So I'm really happy to have the 124 hardtop, I guess. They have, I think, almost identical stats, but it's a really beautiful car. I'm just a fan of the 124. And that's why I decided to max it out. Same thing for the Porsche Boxster concept. I always liked how the Porsche Boxster concept looked. I always liked how it looked. And I think that's why I never really liked the Porsche Boxster, because it just didn't end up looking like the Boxster concept. I liked how the Boxster concept looked. Like, it looks more like a 911. And I feel like that's why Porsche changed it with the actual Boxster, because they didn't want it to look like an actual 911. And I love, the Porsche 911. So yeah, the Boxster concept's a pretty good looking car, mainly because fried egg headlights. But I digress. It's a pretty decent car, 5.190. One car that I am interested in maxing out pretty soon is the Alfa Romeo GTV. So hopefully the random name picker will select this. If not, I'll just max it out myself if I don't have anything else to max out. Because the 0 to 60 and the handling combination looks okay for an RQ44, in my opinion. Next up is the Mini Convertible John Cooper Works. Once again, it's another Mini with really good handling and medium ground clearance. But, guys, we need to remember, right? 5.189 with medium ground clearance. The Dodge Avenger, we cannot forget, the Dodge Avenger is 5.089 and it's RQ41, so it's even cheaper to use. Okay, so yeah, the Mini convertible is a good car, but I'd still rather use the Dodge Avenger anyway. That car is so good, dude. I got this one yesterday as well. This was from Blitz's pack. And then yeah, the Alpha, this one I maxed out because I chose to. 95 handling, and that's the literal reason why. I think it's also very light, so there you go. That's enough reason for me to max it out. The Alfa Romeo, that thing. I actually chose to max it out myself as well. And this was, I think, the first super rare PL16 car that I got, so that's why I wanted to max it out. And to be fair, stats look pretty good. 4.992 for a mid-range super rare. Ain't opposed to that at all. Anything with off-road tires, I also maxed out of my own will. So the 124 Rally and the Lancia Fulvia that we'll see later. So that was maxed out. This one obviously was down to the random name picker, because why would I ever max this out of my own will? 5.383 medium ground clearance, nothing too special about it. Same thing with the Audi 100 S4. Four-wheel drive performance tires. If anything, I see this as a German version of the Dodge Challenger all-wheel drive. They're both medium ground clearance. They're both four-wheel drive. They both have very similar stats, only that the Challenger handles better and the Audi has a higher top speed. That's it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking Audi though. Like, I like how the 90s Audis look. I think they're okay. Still no Porsche or Mercedes, but I think they're okay. 525 as well, 5.482. Very interesting that this is 48. This is 5383. It basically has better stats than the 525, but it's 1 RQ less. So very, very interesting. I did not bother to test the MRI on this. It's probably just slightly better than the 220, but like I said, I don't really care. The Alpha 164, this is a really good one. Very, very, very happy with this. Medium ground clearance, four-wheel drive, and 90 handling. Once again, a car that we've never really seen in the super rare category, a saloon medium ground clearance that handles with four-wheel drive and performance tires. And then last but not least, wrapping it up, we have the Lancia Thema Turbo, as well as the Porsche Taycan and the Lancia Fulvia Coupe. The Lancia Fulvia and the Porsche Taycan, I decided to max it out myself, but the Lancia Thema was up to the name generator. So moving on to the ultra rares now. I think I have about 11 ultra rares maxed out right now. Like I said, I have a bunch of cars, not a bunch, I just have 2 cars that are already done, like the Alpha 159. This is already done. I just need to put in the cash upgrades, but I don't want to do it right now because I'm grinding up to my next mill as quickly as I can. The Audi A3 Sportback, I believe, was the first PL16 ultra that I maxed out. It's not gonna beat any of the Acuras from American Frontier, but if there ever is a German standard tire front wheel drive event, which is very, very niche, then I guess this car would be somewhat useful. And then moving on, obviously the Alpha Giulia TZ2. I kind of maxed it out mainly because I liked it. I didn't need it for the final. I just maxed it because I liked it. It reminds me of, you know, one of my favorite Ferraris ever made in the 250 GTO. And like I said, I do believe that they do share the same chassis. So yeah, 4.591, pretty decent top speed, very lightweight car as well. Slick tires. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool car. It's just a really cool car. Anything with off-road tires is already maxed 100%. So the A-Bar 500, anything Italian, anything PL16 with off-road tires, I have it. I've maxed it. Obviously, those are like the priority cars that you need for clubs, right? Boxster R60. Oh, I'm wrong. The Audi is not the first Ultra I maxed. I think it was the second. The first Ultra I maxed was the Porsche Boxster. This was the first one I got. I got this on the day of the update, 19 days ago. Well, actually, not the day of the update, because, you know, when the update dropped, I couldn't play the damn game. So, like 2 days after the update dropped, 3 days after the update dropped, something like that. But yeah, I got the Porsche Boxster RS60. So yeah, really cool. I think it's 2 days. I think it's 2 days or 1.5 days, something like that. All right, next up, obviously off-road tires. It is max. This is another one, the Panamericana, four-wheel drive, medium ground clearance. Not as light as it looks, to be honest. This looks like it should be under 1,000 kilograms, but it's not. It actually looks really heavy. This one's already done. It's already done. 969 as well. Just need to put in the money upgrades, but I just don't want to do it right now because I'm super frugal. Next up, BMW 120D X Drive, 5.380, four-wheel drive standard tires with medium ground clearance and the hatchback tag. Not too shabby, but I wish it just handled a little better. 80 is kind of like borderline crap. I got two Lancia Hyenas. One is dry spec and the other is wet spec, just for the final. And obviously this car did help win me the Hennessy, and yes, I did win the Hennessy. I never posted a video about it because I opened the pack off camera, because I was just too excited. So yeah, really happy for the Hennessy pull. Obviously the Fiat Abarth X19 Prototipo, had to max that out. Lovely car. Probably a 100% win ratio, perhaps 97. Okay, 97% win ratio, 33 races only in 4 days. Great car, absolutely great car. It's gonna be more than 33 very soon because there's Italian in clubs right now, I think. And then obviously the Porsche Cayenne diesel, we got this from a pack opening, where I got my Viper ACR as well as my second McLaren 650 SGT3. Cayenne diesel, man, I mean, I'm a Porsche collector, so really happy to have this around. Diesel tag as well, pretty nice niche. Current car that I'm working on, Mini John Cooper Works. I'm gonna 233 it, absolute beast, and is definitely better than the Alfa Romeo Giulia TCR. Like I said many times, this car just turned out to be a little bit of a disappointment. And mainly because it's heavy. I know, this is considered heavy, 1,130 kilograms. Because you need to remember, the cars that this thing competes with, like the Zenith and the Lotus 340R, they're all ridiculously light. We're talking like 700, 800 kilograms, you know? So over 1,000 is actually very heavy if you're comparing this to Lotuses and Caterhams. But yeah, 101 handling, still, you know, still very respectable handling. It's the highest handling Ultra in the game, and I'm more than happy to have it and not have it. Okay, I don't want to say that this thing is crap. It's not. It's just that it isn't as much of a fantastic car as we all thought it was going to be. BMW iX xDrive 40 as well. This car, we got it in a recent pack opening. It looks pretty good. Part of me thinks if I get a second one, I might drag spec it because it'll be 4.7, 4.80 to 60. But yeah, sub 5 seconds, 80 handling, 4-wheel drive, all surface tires. Once again, I wish the handling could be better, but the 0 to 60 on this thing is very low. And then we have the 330e Touring and the Alfa Romeo 4C Spider. So this is a really good car. This car is fantastic, honestly. Like, it has epic stats, and the only reason why it isn't an epic is because like the MRA is crap or something like that. But still, it's a very light car, even lighter than the TCR, and it's got a really low 0 to 60, 94 handling. I mean, you compare this to a lot of max out epics, and actually this car is going to give an epic, a lower tier epic, a definite run for its money. It's very strong. And then we end up with the epics and the legendaries. So I have 7 epics to my name and 1 legendary. So for these 7 epics, we have 2 Alfa Romeo Issimas. I think someone mentioned that it was 224 MRA, you know, because one has 112 and I have 2 of them, so that was pretty funny. This is drag spec. It won me the Hennessy, obviously. I have the Bat car as well as the 4C Concept, and I have the Pandion. The Pandion also helped me win the Hennessy, so yeah, I'm really happy with this bad boy in my garage. And I have the 530D Touring, which isn't a bad car at all. You know, the handling isn't too bad. 0 to 60 is not the lowest, but it's not the highest. It's just decent, really. It's not a bad car. Main thing about it is that it's an estate, 4-wheel drive, standard tires. Honestly, I don't even know what I said about the handling. The 0 to 60. I said it's not the lowest, but it's not the highest. I mean, that's true. It's very average. But yeah, it's just, what I'm trying to say is that this car is okay. It's not bad. It's not good. I'm happy that I got the 4-wheel drive standard tire BMW, opposed to the rear-wheel drive standard tire BMW for the for the epic category. Last but not least, my top 2 cars is going to be obviously the Alfa Romeo TZ3 Stradale. Now, here's an interesting one, right? Because, like, Blossom, if you have this, why don't you have it maxed out? That could have won you the Hennessy. Here's the thing, I got this car after I got this car after the finals ended. I got the what is it, the premium pass one day after the Hennessy finals ended, and I actually got this from the pack. So yeah, would have helped me, man. It would have made my finals a lot less stressful, because the reality of the situation is I had a pretty hard time in the Hennessy finals because I didn't have the best epics. I didn't have the GTA, as Val is going to tell me over and over and over again, and I didn't have the TZ3. So I was running the 3rd best epic, which was still decent, the Pandion, and the Isma was okay. But and then again, on top of that, I was running 2 ultra rares in the 4C Spider and the Hyena, so it wasn't the strongest thing in the world. But obviously the Hennessy was down to this. Like, this carried me. The Pagani Huayra tricolor. Now, one thing that I wanted to do, I know it's very dark. Maybe I should open the curtains. It's too late. The video's almost done. But yeah, this car carried me, man. Absolutely carried me. 4 days, 46 races with a 100% win ratio. I'm probably not going to keep it at that, but we'll see how long it lasts, dude. This thing is ridiculous. I actually wanted to max this out and then record this video, but knowing how frugal I am, I knew that I wasn't going to max it out anytime soon. I promise you, I will name it Rigatoni once I max it out. It's a very, very, very good car, don't get me wrong, okay? It's just that right now, as it stands, I want to know what the next prize car is going to be, and I want to know what the Rex are going to be, okay? If the Rex are trash, if the prize car is trash, one or the other, then I will put 3 epics aside to put in the Huayra tricolor. Another thing I could do actually is just put in the McLaren 650S GT3 because I have 3 of them, but I kind of want to just collect as many as I get, because if the car loves me, I'll keep it. I mean, it's not a Murcielago, it's not crap, so I'm gonna keep it around, you know. Over 100 handling, slick tires, 100 MRI, of course. But yeah, that's my entire collection right there. Just one legendary, the best legendary that you can unpack from Amalfi Coast. Nothing representing the Germans just yet. Obviously, I would like to get a G80 BMW or a GTA. That's the entire update for me. The entire PL16 update for me is just wrapped around 2 cars for me. It's the GTA and the G80 BMWs. That's it. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. That is my PL16 garage. Let me know if yours is better or worse or about the same. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville.